Ukrainian nationalists continue to use residential areas of settlements and social facilities as a human shield to deploy their artillery systems and conduct massive fire on Russian servicemen. So, on Kiev outskirts in Vinogradar district, Ukrainian nationalist units covered themselves with residential buildings for several days and fired multiple launch rocket systems at Russian servicemen. At the same time, the areas of the nearby shopping center were used as a large base for storing rocket ammunition and reloading multiple launch rocket systems. The coordinates of the position of Ukrainian multiple rocket launchers were confirmed by Russian reconnaissance through several channels, as well as the location of a warehouse with rocket ammunition was discovered. Live monitoring and recording system clearly shows how Ukrainian multiple launch rocket system enters a shopping center on the outskirts of Kiev to hide and reload missiles. High-precision long-range weapons destroyed a battery of Ukrainian multiple rocket launchers and a storage base for their ammunition in closed shopping center on the night of March 21. We would like to draw the attention of the Western media once again. We have presented absolute evidence of the criminal use by Kiev nationalist regime of civilian objects in residential areas of Kiev and other cities of Ukraine as firing positions of artillery and rocket systems. I have to comment on the words of the advisor to the office of the Ukrainian president, Mikhail Podolyak, that allegedly Russia is fighting only with manpower and cruise missiles. I must emphasize that the special military operation is carried out by a professional army, which actually uses cruise missiles. Their use is highly effective. They carry out precision strikes against military infrastructure and never against civilian objects. The nationalists themselves and the Ukrainian armed forces are hitting civilian targets. There are a lot of people's testimonies about this, and we have just presented one of them. Returning to the actions of the Russian armed forces, not only cruise missiles are used, but also hypersonic weapons, which is absolutely high precision and is also used only for military targets. In particular, we are talking about the Kiev aviation missile systems with hypersonic air ballistic missiles. The Russian Defense Ministry has analyzed the results of the destruction of the military infrastructure assets of Ukraine by aviation missile complexes Kiev with hypersonic air ballistic missiles. Underground protected storages of Ukrainian aviation weapons and combat units for .U missile systems located in the Deliatin-Ivano-Frankovsk region, as well as large fuel depots in Konstantinovka-Nikolaev region were destroyed. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the use of the hypersonic air ballistic missile of Kiev complex was carried out from a range of more than 1,000 kilometers. The flight time of the hypersonic missile was less than 10 minutes. Due to hypersonic speed and ultra-high kinetic energy, the warhead of Kiev missile complex destroyed a protected underground arsenal located in a mountainous area built in Soviet times to store special ammunition and missiles. The destruction of a large fuel depot in Konstantinovka by Kiev hypersonic missile was due to its invisibility and invulnerability to any means of enemy air and missile defense. Combat use of Kiev aviation missile system confirmed its effectiveness in destroying highly protected special enemy assets. The strikes on the military infrastructure of Ukraine by this missile system will continue within the special military operation. I would like to emphasize that Kiev system is used with a conventional warhead, although experts are well aware of the capabilities of this weapon, not only in terms of range, but also in terms of the type of charge. Other latest means of destruction are also used, as well as modern aviation. All these weapon systems, as well as other weapons, even Mr. Podolyak doesn't know, are called the modern Russian army and the navy. So, I do not recommend misleading anyone about the real capabilities and professionalism of the Russian armed forces. All the alleged real data about losses of military equipment and personnel of the Russian armed forces, including senior and superior officers, disseminated by Mr. Podolyak, is propagandistic lies. In turn, I would like to draw Mikhail Podolyak's attention to the actions of the Ukrainian Security Service, neo-Nazi formations and other so-called special Ukrainian structures that terrorize their own citizens trying to leave the territory of Ukraine. It's these representatives of the Kiev regime who create a stir on the border. They still let children and women through, although not all of them. As for the male population of Ukraine, they are forcibly conscripted into the army as so-called reservists at the border. In fact, they are used as cannon fodder.